Hi, in this video blog I want to talk about inflation and the U.S. economy. First, inflation is melting our money. Second, in the U.S. we have a mounting federal debt problem, and the federal debt is going to lead to higher taxes. Third, the Russian invasion of Ukraine highlights the problem of freezing bank accounts and money confiscation. Fourth, the Fed is tightening and crashing the stock markets. How far will the Fed go? Fifth, we cannot expect the US dollar to be the world's reserve currency forever. In fact, it looks like the petrodollar is coming to an end. And finally, what am I doing to protect my savings? Are you ready? Let's dive in. First, inflation. Inflation is still going up. And this is unfortunate and unpleasant for the whole world, not just for the U.S. The Federal Reserve wants to keep inflation at 2%, but recently the PCE jumped to 6.4%, the highest rate in 40 years. Non-durable goods up 21% annualized. Food up 16.8% annualized. Energy goods and services up 44.4% annualized. CPI is also at a 40-year high. What does this mean for you and me? It means that our money is melting. If you had $100,000 and you just put it under your mattress, in 3 years' time, that money would be worth $51,000 in actual spending power. This is because asset inflation is increasing at 20% per year. So we need to invest in assets that are going up by at least 20% per year. And that means that I need to find an investment that's not correlated to the devaluation of the US dollar due to the Federal Reserve money printing. And for me, that's either real estate or land or digital assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. First, we have a problem with inflation that's melting our cash. Second, we have a mounting federal debt. And third, and this federal debt's going to lead to higher taxes. And when you combine a high inflation with high capital gains taxes, the stock market doesn't look like a very good investment. It's looking less and less attractive. I can't make enough profit from buying tech stocks and bank stocks to offset the losses that I have to offset the cost of inflation or the cost of high capital gains taxes. Third, we have a problem with confiscation. The Russian invasion of Ukraine was very unfortunate and unpleasant, not just for the U.S., but for the whole world. But the global response has been to confiscate the wealth of Russia. The global response has been any money that is Russia's assets outside of its borders is frozen. Russia has $643 billion in just forex reserves, meaning foreign currency exchange in foreign banks. And the response from the U.S. is to freeze Russia's bank accounts. Now they're saying that Russia can't pay its bills. It owes $120 billion and it can't pay its bills. Well, of course not. You froze all the Russian bank accounts. How is the country going to repay its loan to foreign banks? You know, the same thing happened to Canadian truckers. In Canada, they were protesting and the Canadian government decided to freeze their bank accounts. You know, if this can happen in Canada, it can happen anywhere. Have you ever had your bank account frozen? I recently got a call from my bank when I transferred a large amount of money to my mother. My bank said that they needed to investigate this transfer, as if I was doing something nefarious. Banks and governments exercise a lot of control over our finances. They can freeze our bank accounts, but they can't freeze our crypto wallets. Crypto assets cannot be frozen. Inflation is at an all-time high. The Federal Reserve is tightening. Economic growth is slowing, and markets are crashing. The S&P 500 rose by 26.9% in 2021, but the Fed is ready to erase these gains, all of these gains, and to destroy the stock market to fight inflation. How far will the Fed go? Are we really looking at 6 more rate hikes this year? That's pretty scary. If so, what will it do to the stock market? Is the Fed getting ready to kill the market to fight inflation? I'm not saying that digital assets are immune from the Fed tightening, but what I am saying is that digital assets are more immune than the stock market. Bitcoin was created to be immune from the Federal Reserve money printing. First, inflation is at an all-time high. Our money is melting. Second, taxes are going up. And third, we have to worry about the government freezing our bank accounts. Fourth, the Federal Reserve is going to destroy the stock market to fight inflation. And finally, we can't expect the petrodollar to last forever. We cannot expect the US dollar to be the world's reserve currency forever. Ray Dalio, in his book Principles, predicts the pending downfall of every major economy as we know it. According to Dalio, the changing world order is a cycle. Dominant countries rise, they prosper for a time, and then they lose their competitiveness and decline. The French franc was the world's reserve currency for 100 years, until the French Revolution in 1815. The British pound from 1815 to either 1920 or to World War II was the dominant world reserve currency. And then the U.S. became the world's reserve currency from World War II to the present. What gets currencies in trouble, though, is borrowing and spending outpaces productivity. That's right out of Ray Dalio's book. This is indicative of the fall, he says, when borrowing and spending outpaces productivity. And this is what's happening to the U.S. economy. Finally, the world is changing. The world is moving into a digital age where all assets will become digitized. What's coming is an internet of value, the digital age, Web 3.0. Don't be somebody who misses out on this digital revolution. In a digital age, all valuable assets will become digital assets. And digital assets will be transferred over the internet and recorded on a blockchain. Value will be transferred on the Internet of Money in cyberspace. This is the reason why I invest in digital assets. To grow your stack, follow this crypto coach. Thanks for watching.